Morning, everybody. It's me, Alchemy Master Magavyn, and I'm going to be doing another crafting video. I'm going to be doing engineering, bone carving, and stone carving. I'll be going over basics, techniques, and just general training tools needed. So, one of the big things is, I'm not really sure why you'd really want to go off with this one. I can kind of understand blacksmithing because you can get enough training to repair your tools or make better ones for alchemy. But hey, if carving bones and stone is your thing, here you go. So some starting tools you're going to need are chisels, rasp, rifflers, bone saw, surface polish, bleach, cleaning cloth, and a scraper. The easiest way to train is by doing bone carving accessories. This is mostly from personal experience. It's easier to handle, carry around little tidbits here and there, especially if you have a bundle. And just in general, from personal experience, just easier to manage overall. So to start off with bone carving, you're going to want to get bones. Now and the tools you can buy are from the society. You can get all that from there for a good starting point. Or you can have another player make you better tools if you can't make your own. So starting off with bones, you can also buy some from the society if you don't want to spend the time to go out and personally prep them. Or if you actually want to go out and get specific sets of bones so you can make your own armor or tables or whatever to match your personal tastes. While you're out hunting, after you make the kill, you want to arrange the monsters by using the command arrange for bone. After a couple times, it'll tell you cannot arrange the body anymore, and then skin it. Now keep in mind, bones are very heavy compared to parts or pelts, so keep a close eye on your encumbrance. After you collect the bones from your hunting, you'll need to clean your bones. So this is where your scraper comes into play. Be sure to have one of your bones in one hand, the scraper in the other, from your bundle. If you don't have a bundle, you can get one from the tannery, or if you braid enough grass and vines to a specific extent, you can actually make your own. Once you have your scraper and your bone, use the command scrape bone with my scraper careful. Instead of using careful, you can leave that out or do quick, but there's a bigger chance that you will damage the bones. Keep in mind that your cleaning efficiency and quality is all based off of your skinning. So if you're going to be doing tougher bones, you need to have a higher level of skinning. And just because you can skin the creatures masterfully does not mean you will clean them to that extent too. So be very careful with that. Let's see. You want to keep doing the cleaning until it says the bones are as clean as you can make them. And then put away your scraper and get your bleaching solution. Then you're going to follow with the command of pour solution on my bone. And then you'll put both of them away and you'll start again. Clean your next set of bones, pour bleach on them, and then just keep going and going and going. Now, I only really suggest pouring the solution on the bones once because you do get a small bonus for the quality. If you pour a second solution on it, you lose that bonus, and anything after that, you'll begin to damage the bones. I'm not sure to what extent, but I'm pretty sure it's fairly hefty overall. The drying process does take 2 hours to dry if you apply once, and it can take a little while, but after you get everything off of your bundle, dry them, you can put them back on your bundle so they're out of your way. And then after the 2 hours, you can then take them off of your bundle and then actually combine them together. So this way it reduces your item count some. However, please do not put these in your vault. There tends to be a fairly large issue with there being a glitch to where you cannot get the bones out of your vault. So either wait till they're done drying or store them before you bleach them for another time if you don't want to be dealing with that just yet. So after they are dry, each bone will give you 3 pieces. So a lot of bone armors do require a fairly hefty sum, so just take what you need, divide it by 3, and you'll be good. So now to get on to the actual carving side of it, you're going to want to get your carving book, of course turning it to the correct page and steadying your book. Then grab the bone stack from your bundle or your bag, and be sure to grab a bone saw. Make sure it's not a wood saw. I made a lot of mistakes doing that and ran into some complications. You cannot use one for the other. Then, with the stack and saw in hand, put carve my stack with my saw. If you happen to have, let's say, 30 in the stack and the item you require requires only 3 bones, it'll snap off the remaining 27 and it'll fall to your feet. And then, after that, you're going to want to carve the item that you are trying to carve with your saw. So we'll go with a hair comb. You're going to be using this command, carve hair comb with my saw, over and over and over again until the very end. However, just like with any other craft, several other things do pop up along the way. You can technically ignore all of these, although it does heavily damage quality. The examples that tend to pop up are jagged shards protruding from your item. This is solved by grabbing rifflers and rubbing your hair comb with it. The big issue I have with this is whenever I use rifflers, or even sometimes this involves the stack when trying to grab it or tap it, it can be very annoying when you're in a room, especially with people whose names start with M for some really strange reason. You will begin to rub their shoulders instead of rubbing the item with your rifflers. I don't know why this is an issue, but I've tried using several different verb variations and got the exact same thing, and made some people not very happy. So please keep that in mind. Try to do a lot of this in an empty room, or pay very close attention to when you're messing around with that. If you notice during the sawing process you get an uneven texture, or the item itself is uneven, then this is going to be solved by grabbing your rasp and scraping your hair comb with it. If you happen to notice discoloration or discolor areas that are formed, grab your surface polish and be sure to apply polish to your hair comb. Good thing about bone carving is you can do some stuff with it, not a whole lot, but you can make armor, weapons, and furniture and accessories as well if you really want to. But the nice thing is, compared to a lot of the other stuff, it only really requires bones when you make armor or weapons. Unlike blacksmithing, you don't need padding. Unlike weaponsmithing, you don't need the shafts or poles or pommels or anything like that. For the actual training, just so you can bump yourself up a little bit, especially if you're just more or less looking to get it moving for when tinkering fully unlocks, then you can just grab the tech decorative bone carving. This will help bump you up that little tiny bit. So with stone carving, so this one tends to be a little bit more of a challenge, mostly because of the weight. This is where deeds are going to be your best friend. So stone supplies you can buy in the society for the sizes of different stones that you'll need for the craft, using all the same tools as carving. You can also mine the stone you need. You can see to my mining video as how to do the mining. But ensure that when you turn to the page that you're after for the stone carving and you look at it, if it requires you to have a pebble, make sure you have a pebble, not a large boulder or a rock, because it will not work. So yeah, always keep that in mind. As I said, some stone is very heavy to lift, and a lot of younger people will not be able to move them around. Like I said, this is where deeds come into play, but once you set it down, like large boulders and stuff like that, guard your boulder so no one accidentally walks off with it or takes it out from under you, and then you can begin your work. So as per before, be sure to grab your book, turn to the correct page, and then study. Then grab your chisel, and then you're going to want to carve your stone piece with your chisel. So if we're using a boulder, carve boulder with my chisel. If you got a pebble, carve pebble. Then it's going to be to carve the actual item you wish to use with your chisel. So like a stone block. So you'll put carve block with my chisel. The exact same signs that is used in bone carving will be used in the stone carving for discoloration, jagged protrusions, uneven surfaces, and stuff like that. So if those pop up, use the exact same thing to fix those mistakes. Now, unlike with bone, stone items do require some additional items depending on what's being made. So if you're going to make like a table, you might have to make other stone items to cobble together to make that item. And they also might require either like other bone items or wood items that you might be able to make or usually buy from the society themselves, like wood poles, bone poles, and stuff like that. According to other people, if you want to more or less specialize with carving stone, then material detailing is one you're going to want to go for, and all the prerequisites to get there. This is according to Dreamheart and Kata. I hope I said your name right. So that would be something you want to jump on. I haven't done stone carving a whole lot. I do some bone carving as a pastime while waiting for like alchemy to drain or for my outdoorsmanship to kind of go away and stuff like that. So stone carving really isn't my big thing. The good thing though is stone carving does get you your some of your crafting tools, so you can make the stirring rod for your crucibles and stuff like that as well. I don't know the specific type of material, but as for other tools, you want to make sure that specific materials are used. Some are more durable, some are more speedy, others are a balance between the two, others are just really expensive. So if you guys do decide to get into these crafts, I do hope you have an enjoyable time. I hope that this video has given you at least some insight on how to get off the ground. Sorry I didn't go into specifics, but I just kind of do this more as a general pastime. One of the few non-alchemy side crafts I kind of have some insight on. And I'd like to point out again, thank you for the help I got from Dreamheart and Kata. If you have any other questions, you feel free to ask in chat or in the comment section. If you guys like the video, please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If a thumbs down, let me know why. That way I can fix it for later videos. In the future, I'll be having a shaping and tinkering videos coming up. Still kind of working on those. and I have a couple funny stories I'll go over with at a later time as well. Until then, I hope you guys have a safe adventure and have some fun.